Hi, I'm Kevin Cronin, Editor-in-Chief of Powder and Bulk Solids, and I'd like to welcome you to the first Powder and Bulk Solids Fast Chat. Today we are talking with Mitchell Holdren, Global Industrial Automation Market Manager at Mettler Toledo. Thanks for joining us today, Mitchell.
Hey, thanks for having me, Kevin.
All right, let's get right into it. Can you explain what AnyLevel is and how it works?
Yes, absolutely. This AnyLevel is a level detection sensor. We take a gravimetric approach, which is a little bit different to some of the existing technologies. For us, coming as a precision measurement company, relative in this particular case to weighing as the closest approximate technology, we start at the bottom. So in level detection, where you're either into the side of a tank or at the top of a tank, we prefer to start and take a bottom-up approach. So, when we look at covering use cases where weighing is not used for process control, but level, in cases of inventory management, secondary checks to other processes, this is exactly where the AnyLevel fits. It's got an internal network set up before connecting to automation, and it works for between 3 and 12 sensors, so it covers a wide variety of tank installs. You just have to have legs. And then the sensor capacity, you're looking from about 1 ton to 30 tons per leg. So again, even if you have, let's say, 3 legs at 1 ton, you can go below that. You can get all the way up in a case of a 3 leg at 30 tons, you're at about 90 tons, so 90,000 kilograms. So it covers a really, really wide range of process tanks and vessels. And then, lastly, when we talk about setup and configuration, and we'll certainly get more into this, because of that internal network setup, it does a lot of things automatically. So you just have to basically plug and go.
Cool. How does AnyLevel help solve common problems in specification, commissioning, operation, and maintenance?
Sure. So because we take a slightly different approach, one of the things that makes AnyLevel, almost universally deployable here is the fact that we're not bothered necessarily with material combinations. So it works with gases, solids, liquids, slurries. We're not really dependent upon the tank shape, the material combination. There's a lot of problems that come in, and that's why the myriad of selection is required often, because if you're trying to get through dust, you're trying to get through foam, you're trying to get through vapors and things of that nature. We don't have to worry about that so much because as long as the tank and the material process are fine, but we're not going to hold up the specification with figuring out, different combinations of the same sensor technology just to get around some of the traditional processes. When we look into configuration, commissioning, setup, that sort of thing, when process tanks and vessels are involved, oftentimes the people that are working with the installation don't necessarily have the requisite background in the sensor technology. One of the things with weighing that's very difficult is that the tank has to be very, very straight. And the tank is usually engineered that way, but the floor is almost never level. And this often causes problems. We've eliminated that. This is actually very forgiving. We've got some tilt correction end up to about 8 degrees. And because of that automated setup, right, the internal network in here, you just plug it up. The cables between the cells, you can't plug them in incorrectly. In addition, because of that automatic setup, you don't have to do anything. You just have to plug it in. When you apply power, you're going to wait about 12 to 20 seconds, and then you're ready to go. As far as operation, very, very simple. Everything is going to be automation side. And then from a maintenance perspective, to be able to detect whether you've accidentally put in an incorrect sensor, you've, let's say, switched one and you don't have the right automation connectivity. Let's say somebody incorrectly orders it. This is going to be easy to detect, and it'll raise an error, so you'll be able to detect it immediately. You won't put something bad into your process or application without immediate notification and the ability to easily correct it.
Mitchell, what automation connectivity options are available, and what kind of data can users receive?
Sure. So with the AnyLevel, what we have are 3 distinct connectivity options. We have IO link, we have HART, and we also have 4 to 20 milliamp or analog output. So for customers who do have IO-Link already in their facilities or on their skids, for example, it offers a very, very easy setup. It's one of the things that's fantastic about IO-Link. Not only do you get the physical characteristic or the measurement, but you also get condition monitoring information. This is, device status, how it's doing. In addition to also Smart 5. So we call it Smart 5, but these are smart alarms. And this is through the adoption of a standard called NAMUR NE107. So this is a standard developed for customers by customers in the process industries who need a very, very, it's a high priority understanding for exactly what to do with the information that, smart sensors in their facilities generate. So, with the advent of smart sensors, what happens is you get a lot more information and helping operators and workers to sort through that and understand which are the most critical and need to be dealt with immediately and which others can wait for a little bit. This is what you get inside of IO-Link, right? So you install the IODD file, everything pulls in, and you get that automatically. Interaction is very quick, simple, and even for, we'll say, less advanced or more traditional connectivity like 4 to 20 milliamp and HART is super popular in process industries. What we also have below your 4 milliamp and above your 20 milliamp, which typically signify errors, right? So in between 4 to 20, you get your signal. Super easy to work with that, no problem. What we've also done in implementing the AnyLevel is to provide additional granularity, right? So it's not just below 4 is an error, above 20 is an error. We actually have several steps to where you can even identify missing sensors that are bad. If you have an improper network configuration, for example, and whether you've exceeded both overload and underload capacities that have been put into the system. Again, with IO-Link, you have that, but you have a different interface to work through that. But again, we're trying to give more information than just a physical characteristic, even when you're looking at traditional or less smart sensors. I'll say it that way.
What about calibration of AnyLevel?
Sure. Calibration of AnyLevel is very quick, very easy. They come factory calibrated. And in the case of IO-Link, one of the things that you have is the ability to offset using a geocode. So this goes to what we know from our weighing experience, that the altitude and latitude of different places on the Earth have a different local gravity, and we can account for that with one of 32 codes. Good news is all of that's available. You just pick your spot on a map where you are, and you'll have that number so that you can get the appropriate local gravity for what you need. As far as, do you need to take this out? Do you need to service it for calibration? The answer is no. That's completely unnecessary. So you don't have to worry about maintaining additional stock to swap in and out. You don't have to get, into a tank that's full, that's empty. You're not worried about plugging holes and things of that nature. Very simple. You don't have to climb to the top of a very tall tank, right? Fall protection, it's a big thing. You only have to support one leg, move it very, very, very small amount up just to get the pressure off. You undo the bolts, you slide it right out. You plug the new one in, and you're back up and running in 15 minutes in a case of a very adverse event where something were to happen to the sensor. But again, very robust. Don't have to worry about it. Comes factory calibrated, and you're good to go.
Thanks, Mitchell. Some great information. And thanks for joining us for Powder and Bulk Solids' first ever Fast Chat.